All right, for this one, we're going to focus specifically on graphing inequalities. So that remember, we're not doing equations during this one. We're doing inequalities. Equations use an equal sign and they're saying there's one and only one answer. Whereas an inequality is saying there's kind of an infinite amount of answers. They're going off in one direction on the number line to positive infinity or to negative infinity. All right, and we have words that kind of help us with this, right? This is a less than symbol, all the words that it could go with, less than or equal to symbol, greater than or equal to, less than, or sorry, greater than, and then our equal symbol. We're not going to use that today. But here it says that filled in circle, we call it a closed circle. That means that the value is included, whereas this one means the value is not included. And that can be a little tricky, so I'm going to try to explain it a little more. If I say a number greater than -5, that means, I'm going to use a fun color. That means that I could say -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 7, 1 million, right? I can keep going. I can't do numbers less than -5, and -5 is not included. So if I'm looking at these circles, if I'm talking about just greater than, this would be an open circle. I'm saying I start there, but that number is not included. So if we look at these, I'll use a brighter color. Oh, this is a less than symbol. It would be an open circle. This is less than or equal to, so that means that number is included. I would color it in. Oh, so beautiful, Miss Dolly. This one's greater than or equal to. So again, I would fill in that circle. Woo. This one's just greater than. That means that number would not be included. It's an open circle. All right, hopefully that helps a little bit. I'm going to show you some examples. And I'm just going to make up these graphs. I'm not using an actual number line. I'm not going to include all the numbers, but here it says that h is greater than -5. So I'm going to make my own number line. And I'm just going to put -5 in the center. I know that to the right of it would be -4, to the left would be -6. So if I'm thinking of numbers greater than -5, sometimes we immediately want to say -6. However, if we're thinking about debt, if we're thinking about temperature, that's lower, okay? -4 is closer to 0, so that is a greater number. So when I graph this, I'm going to put an open circle on -5 because -5 is not a part of the solution. And I'm going to the right because all those positive numbers are greater than -5. All right, there's one example. Oops. This thing doesn't like to move up and down smoothly. Sorry, I apologize. Ooh, this one's j is less than 18. So I'm just going to put 18 in the center. I'll put 19 over here. Oh, why did I make those negative? I don't know. I got stuck in the negative idea. And 17 over here. Okay. It's j is less than. So I know it's an open circle. And with positives, it's a little easier. We're like, oh, okay, I know 17 is less than 18. So it goes that way. This one is g is less than or equal to -2. So I make my graph, and sometimes you'll just have the graph, but in this case, we can just draw them. Okay, -1 would go here, -3 would go here. It says it's less than or equal to, so this circle is not open. This circle is closed because -2 is included in the solution set. Ooh, okay, I'll stop caring. It says less than or equal to -2. Okay, well, if g is less than or equal to -2, that's -3, -4, -5. It's going to the left. All right, oops. I've got a couple more and then we're done with this topic. All right, this is m is greater than or equal to -6. Okay, it's an or equal to. So first I just started with my circle and I'm going to fill it in because -6 is included. I forgot to include any other numbers, but I can add them on real quickly. Greater than or equal to -6. So that's -5, -4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and into the positives. Ew, that circle was ugly. Okay, so those were them when the inequalities were written. I don't want to say correctly because the other way isn't incorrectly, but they were written in an order that makes sense. Sometimes they're not though. Sometimes they're written backwards and the order doesn't make as much sense. So this one right here, it says 7 is greater than f. So I'm talking about in relation to 7, not in relation to f. So if that confuses you, you can always substitute in the numbers. Like if you're thinking greater than, so it's 8, write it in there. Okay, so 7 is greater than 8. Oh, that's not true. 7's less than 8. It's just written backwards. If 7 is greater than f, then that means f is less than 7. I can like flip the whole inequality around to read it correctly for me. Because look, if you're thinking back to elementary school, the alligator is still trying to eat 7, not f. So that's the value that is greater. So when I write this, it's almost backwards of everything else we've been doing. So there's 7, 6, 8. When we read this first one, 7 is greater than f, we immediately want to start going to 8. But since 7 is greater than f, f is less than 7. You can rewrite them or you could substitute in values like I did to try to check it. So like checking, is 7 greater than 8? Nope. Is 7 greater than 6? Yes. You can do that to help you. And I'll do one more and then we're done with this skill. All right, it says -2 is less than or equal to d. So I've got -2, -1, -3. I know it's a closed circle because -2 is included. Woo! Now I need to decide. I see that -2 is less than d. Makes me think I want to go to the less than. So let's substitute it in. -2 is less than or equal to -3. Oh, sometimes with negatives that can get confusing, but -3 is a smaller amount. So that's wrong. However, -2 is less than or equal to -1, right? And remember, I can rewrite the inequality. If -2 is less than or equal to d, that means that d is greater than or equal to -2. So greater than, I'm going to go that way. If the variable is on the right side, really try to dig into it. Are you doing it correctly, or are you just assuming it from the number instead of the variable? All right, reach out if you have any questions. Bye, friends.